busy without structure and purpose will bankrupt you.
Right.
You know, burnout sometimes has been created because we take on too much. What do you all think?
The issue today is that it is constant. We are bombarded. There's a pressure now to perform.
And I think we adapt a lot of pressure on ourselves. So I think the pressure is just different now.
Individuals that aren't able to slow down or speed up because they have to be in the system and they have to work constantly their means.
I think a lot of people are really just trying to do the best with what they have. Food, gas, things are really just expensive.
It's the grind, the hustle.
Right.
That cost you. You only have 24 hours a day. God's not going to give you 25. And sometimes we're blaming other people for our failure. We're blaming the system. And sometimes we just have too much on our plate. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Do you know that people are sleeping, but they are not resting? Study shows that stress, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion are at some of the highest level we have ever seen in years. And many people are silently burning out mentally, emotionally, and spiritually without even realizing it. Now, today, my co-host and I are discussing the top 5 reasons mental health experts say people are experiencing burnout in today's world. So you really want to stay tuned and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to the Henry Fernandez podcast. We truly appreciate your support. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with someone you know, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Make sure you tune in every Tuesday as we release a brand new episode designed to help you become the best version of yourself.
And speaking of Tuesdays, did you know we also release a brand new ebook the second Tuesday of every month? If you haven't checked it out yet, make sure you do that right now. You can scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description below. These ebooks are powerful, easy to read, and packed with encouragement, wisdom, and practical tools for everyday life. And if you're always on the go like I am, don't worry, there's also an audio version available so you can listen anytime, anywhere. Plus, one of my favorite features is that you can actually leave Henry a message directly from the ebook experience.
And that's not all. Every month, we also highlight featured items from our merch store right inside the ebook. Plus, we feature business sponsors offering free products, exclusive discounts, services, and monthly giveaways. So there's always something new to check out.
And honestly, one of the best ways to support the Henry Fernandez podcast financially is by purchasing something from the merch store. Not only does it help support the podcast, but it also helps support mission work and outreach efforts happening around the world. So really, why not give back and get something meaningful in return?
Yeah, now that's a lot going on. So here's the easiest way to recap everything. Scan the QR code on the screen to get access to everything we just talked about. And if you're listening, head over to henryfernandez.org/podcast to get access. All right, Charlotte, we're ready to jump back into today's episode. Let's go.
Let's go.
Now, welcome back. You know, in a world where stress, exhaustion, and burnout have become normal, taking care of your health matters now more than ever before. And that's why we're excited to partner with today's sponsor, Pure Green. See it here? I got it right in front of me. We all have it here. Pure Green is one of the fastest growing cold pressed juice and smoothie companies in the country. Built around a mission to create healthier communities by connecting people with nutrient-rich superfoods and wellness products that actually taste incredible. Can't wait to taste this. So in a culture that's constantly draining us physically and mentally, it is important for us to intentionally pour back into ourselves. And owners, JC and Shalonda Cooper, are doing just that at their Pure Green Deerfield Beach, Florida location off West Hillsborough Boulevard. Now click the link in the description below to learn more about Pure Green and visit their Deerfield Beach location. And please make sure you stop by and tell them Henry sent you. Now, I've been to the store myself, and I can tell you, great customer service, and they've got a wide range of products. And today, I'm going to taste let's see, which one is this? The apple lemon ginger. And it's got kale, spinach, cucumber, celery, zucchini. I've never read zucchini.
All right.
Okay. All right. Let's see how it's going to taste. So,
It's pure
while
green.
we're having this discussion here today, here is Carlene, my co-host.
Hey, everyone.
And what you having?
Ooh, so I have the banana smoothie.
Okay,
I love
banana smoothie. Okay, and Charlotte.
This is the melon hydrate. It
Okay.
has watermelon, strawberry, lime, probiotics, great for your tummy, and Himalayan salt.
Okay.
Wow, that
All right.
was
Now
great.
we've got Frederick over here. He's just
Yes.
drinking something yellow. That's
Yes,
all.
it's
What you
tropical
drink?
sunrise, I want to call it. If it's not the term, I apologize, but it's beautiful and it tastes great.
Yeah. In other words, he don't know what he's drinking.
I like it, though.
He's just drinking something yellow. Well, man, this is so good today. This is a very important topic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? And according to the American Psychological Association, chronic stress, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion has significantly increased over the last several years. And with many adults reporting that they feel overwhelmed by their finances, constant negative news, uncertainty about the future, and the pressure of keeping up with everyday life. And the question that I have for all of us today is, how did we get here? I mean, how did we get here? Based on the topic of burnout, do you think that people today are carrying more pressure than previous generations? And do you think that we've literally lost the ability to mentally and emotionally handle the pressure in everyday life? What do you all think?
I'm going to say, I really, as I think about this, I think the pressures of previous generations were a little bit different, right? I think, of course, they still had, uniquely so, they still had the financial pressures, you know, they
Right.
had physical, all of those things that we could think about. But it hits a little different,
Yeah.
you know, nowadays because we have so much access to information. We have so much access to social media, right? To see so many different people doing so many different things. And I think we adapt a lot of pressure on ourselves. So I think the pressure is just different now, you know, than it was then.
I think the pressure is more constant. So I go back and forth. Are we weaker now than before? I don't know. Maybe. You know, you could probably make an argument for and against, but I think the issue today is that it is constant. We are bombarded. It's almost like life is just going so fast, right? And so previous generations had hardships, but they were able to separate from it. Now everything is just in your face. We have our phones, we've got this, we've got that. Technology literally has brought everything to us. What we want, we can have it now. It's just constant, and then that exacerbates, you know, our situations.
And I don't necessarily think we've lost the ability to manage it. It's just different.
Right.
We have to learn, retrain ourselves into how to navigate this new territory that we're in and this new world, this new technology. Everything is faster, double, triple this time as far as information comes to us. And so, like, I would dare, like I said, yeah, you said something that is could be debated, and I kind of believe we do have a little bit more pressure on us because of that very first thing.
Right.
We need to manage it better. That's all.
Let's dig a little bit deeper because the follow-up question really is, how did we get here?
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the issue. And is it possible that we got here because we have invited unnecessary stress in our lives? Are we doing too much? You know, have we taken on too much? So the stress of finances. Is it possible that we're living above our means? You know, and social media. Are we allowing ourselves to be bombarded or be consumed by social media? Because again, at the end of the day, you know, social media has its positive, its negative, but you control your phone.
Exactly.
I mean, you control your phone. So when we see that people are overwhelmed by their finances, the negative news, I've made a decision. I love, a lot of people don't know this about me. I love politics.
Oh.
I'll never be a politician.
Oh. Okay.
But I love politics.
Yeah.
I like watching it, listening to the debates and so forth. And I got so consumed in it that I had to, especially with the toxicity that's taking place now, and I had to literally shut myself away from it, purposely say, I'm not watching it anymore.
Right.
Right? So I just think, burnout sometimes has been created because we take on too much. What do you all think?
Go ahead.
And I think there's a pressure now to perform.
Great.
Like our lives are a
Great
performance.
response. Yes.
Right? Because everything is on social media. And, you pose the question of, are we allowing social media to influence us? I think it's almost like it's so pervasive that if you don't think about it, it's just going to take you away. And so then we're not thinking about it, but we are performing. Everything is a performance. What do we post on our social medias? The best parts of our life. Are we posting the horrible parts of our life?
No.
Not really. And the ones that are doing it for attention.
Right.
It becomes clickbait.
Right.
And I think we've allowed social media to set the standard.
True.
So, regardless if you're a good person, you're doing good deeds, or if you're doing well, until you look at social media, you don't know if you're doing well, right? Because you're like, so-and-so is doing this, and now all of a sudden you feel like you're not even making any moves, you're not doing anything, and it should not be the standard, definitely not. That's not the mirror, but I think we've done that, and so now we take this pressure on our shoulders to be able to up one, that type of a mentality.
So I think we're all saying if people will learn to monitor what's going into their thought process,
Right.
Monitor their senses,
Yeah.
then they won't feel that overwhelmed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's jump into the actual meat of this conversation now, even deeper. So I'm going to open up with a statement that says, we're living in a culture where people feel like they always have to be producing, piggybacking off what you just said in far as performance, Charlotte. Achieving, building, or chasing something, and many people are quietly burning out trying to keep up. My question to the panel is, when did being busy become a badge of honor? And do you think people now tie their value and self-worth to constantly producing and achieving? That's a good question.
Somebody asked me, well, every time, you casually talk to somebody, they'll say, how are you today? And I used to say, I'm busy.
Right.
And then it was like, well, somebody posed the question to me was, are you busy or are you productive?
Oh, yeah, there's a difference.
Because it's a huge difference. Because you can be busy and waste your entire life and be busy. But are you being productive with your time? What are you doing with your time and managing your time?
Right.
Yeah. And busy became that badge of honor that you're talking about, Fred, I think because we tie it to the importance. Because saying that, you probably felt like, I'm important, I'm busy. And right now, the whole thing in society, you got to be booked and busy, right? That's like a whole thing. If you're booked and busy, you're doing it, you're brick by brick, that song, right? We're building it brick by brick. So it's like, that's such a big thing that people strive towards to their detriment, based on how you handle it. But I think,
For me, I think being busy without structure and purpose will bankrupt you.
Right.
Because so many people, they're busy, right? But they're not productive.
Right.
And that's going to cost you.
Oh, 100%.
Think about that. That's going to cost you. I mean, for example, if you okay, for the whole week, what you're doing is, I got to go there to meet a friend. I got to travel there. I got to pick this up. When you look at how much you're paying for gas alone, that's costing you. Instead of just sitting down and say, what do I need to accomplish this week? What's in fact, even as a leader, I had to, a couple of years ago, sit back and say, wait a minute, just because the church is having a lot of activity doesn't necessarily mean that we're effective.
That's very
Right.
true.
Right.
That's good.
Think about that.
Right.
So we now need to go back to our mission, purpose.
Yes, sir.
Why do we exist as a church or individuals? What are we trying to accomplish? What's our goal? And stick within that, because you only have 24 hours
That's right.
a day. God's not going to give you 25.
Right.
You only have 7 days a week, right? And most of the months you have 31 days. And you have to maximize that. And I think when you put too much on you, for the day, 24 hours, you're trying to cram everything. You don't have time to sleep and so forth. And sometimes we're blaming other people for our failure. We're blaming the system. And sometimes we just have too much on our plate.
Yeah. My favorite quote, a rocking chair has activity and goes nowhere.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Just back and forth.
I think we all need a drink on that. I'm drinking.
And I mean, I'm like, and listening to that, it's interesting, but this particular question also deals with a certain mentality and a certain, I don't like to put it this way, but a certain labor force, because there's individuals that aren't able to slow down or speed up because they have to be in the system and they have to work constantly. And because if they don't, they aren't able to get paid. They aren't able to because of their means. And so there's a lot of metrics that go or that play into the need or the feeling or the want or even the desire, because most people don't want to. At the end of the day, most people don't really feel like they want to be hustling and grinding, but for them to make it, I feel like they put themselves in this rat race.
Right.
It's a lot harder nowadays because of everything going on that continues to have them to force themselves to show up in a way that if I'm not seen, I'm not.
But Fred, here's the problem with that. You are accurate by saying that. It's the grind, the hustle.
Right.
That cost you.
Yep.
Exactly.
So sometimes if people, I'm telling you, if you just stop for a moment and calculate what it costs to hustle, what it costs to grind, and then look at what you have to pay out to do that versus what you're taking in. It's like running a business.
Yeah.
If you keep just ordering supplies, decorating the store, hiring people to help you decorate, doing marketing, spending money to get the word out.
True.
If at the end of that week, your balance sheet doesn't show that you are making a profit, you're in a deficit. And I think for a lot of us, we just need to look back and say, okay, does your grind produce the best version of yourself?
Right.
And is it allowing you to be at peace? Because what's the sense? Come on now. Let's think for a moment.
Yeah.
What is the sense to go out there to grind every day, hustle, to have a beautiful house? I get it. To have a car your dream car, to buy the purse that don't even let me go there.
No, don't. Not right now. Don't do it.
Something just hit me a while ago.
Yeah.
I just felt a revelation.
Our revelation.
Fred, the price these women paying for purses.
Let's keep it on topic. Let's keep it.
But what if it holds value? What if it holds value?
Holds value. See, you about to go and
You can insure that purse.
what?
That's why you're burnt out.
It's a different topic.
That's why y'all are burnt out. $20,000, $30,000,
Birkin bag.
My birth.
$40,000. No, seriously.
No, I
These
know.
purses,
Yeah.
And I think if you just pause for a moment, just pause and say, well, okay, in this season of my life, this is what I need in order to just be normal. Don't take on too much, because you take on too much, I'm telling you, it's going to make you feel overwhelmed. You're going to be stressed. You're not going to be the best version of yourself. And guess what? You don't live alone. You're not on an island by yourself.
Come on.
You've got people you're dating. You got people you're married to. You got children you're taking care of. And you got churches to go to. And you've got the community to live in. And if you are not straight upstairs, come on now.
That's right.
If your pressure cooker is steaming,
Had to bust.
come on now. You're about to explode on somebody.
You better know it. Oh man.
Anyway.
Seriously. So speaking of overload,
A pressure cooker.
Yes, exactly. The average person now consumes hours of social media and nonstop news every single day. And many experts believe our minds were never designed to process this much information constantly. Constantly, People are waking up stressed, scrolling through bad news, comparing their lives online, and mentally overstimulated before the day even begins. Like waking up and putting the phone, like before they even get out of bed. So the next question I have is social media and the news have made information more accessible than ever before, which is very true. But do you think that constant flow of information is actually helping people stay informed or emotionally overwhelming them? At what point does being constantly connected to everything happening in the world begin affecting people mentally, emotionally, and spiritually?
The moment you spend too much hours on it,
Yeah.
too much time on it, when you know, like you said earlier on in your statement, you wake up, first thing you're doing, you're picking up your phone. You're constantly going through it, and we're all guilty of it.
It's
yes.
true.
But I think the moment you train yourself to say, okay, not now. You know, I'm not going to focus on the news. Like I said earlier, I literally wean myself off the news.
How did you
I can
do
go
that?
a whole day,
Yeah.
a week without watching the news.
Yeah. Was it hard to do that?
No, and I don't want to make people feel that I'm some superhero here. No.
Right.
I think if you just tell yourself, it has to start with the subconscious first. You got to first say, I can do this. I must do this. And that's what I've told myself. I must do this because I can. You see, this is your brain. This is the computer of everything you do. Yeah. And if it's overloaded, if it's corrupt, if it's got bad files, then you're going to corrupt your everyday life. And so I had to tell myself, no, I want to wean myself off this. The news, because believe me, a greater percentage of what you see on social media and the media out there is not accurate information.
Yeah.
It's for some reason, America and the world buys garbage and we're paying for it. And so you have to be intentional to tell yourself, I don't want to get sucked into the lies, right? I can, you know, people are not fact checking things anymore. I mean, I can just come on the podcast and I can say, man, this will
Grow your hair back.
take care of cancer.
Yeah.
And people just buy it.
That's true.
Nobody goes to check to see what's in the ingredients or whatever. The news, we don't check the news. We're just moved by our emotions.
That's true.
I think we just need to check out.
Well, something else to consider too is that there is an algorithm that controls everything that we do.
You're right on
It controls
that.
what we buy. It controls what
Yep.
we consume. It controls how we think.
Hey,
It
listen.
controls
Yeah.
all of those things because, you know, every time we used to talk about, oh, that used to be a surprising thing where I was just saying something and all of a sudden it
there.
pops up. No, now it's out in the open that is very strategic because at the end of the day, where our attention is where these companies are making the most money. So they're making money off of us as the consumer. We don't even have to pay for it anymore because they're making so much money off of it. So there's influence that way, and we have to be aware of that. There was another thought that it'll probably come back to me, but it's important for us to understand that because if not, we are going to be going like water, just to and fro. Just
Yeah.
have
But
those
for real though, Charlotte, they're spying on us.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
No,
They're
I'm telling you.
listening.
You know why? No, I'm serious.
No, I agree.
I will go, it has happened multiple times. I would just go into a store. I didn't take no pictures, nothing. And I would look at something. Next thing you know, it's popping
It's
up
on your
in my
phone.
algorithm. And I'm like, what is this?
Right.
Yeah.
And so forth. So I don't know. I just think, I'm not an expert, and I'm not telling you whatever, but I just think something going on. Something going on.
You know, the technology that we have today was it was like secretive 40, 50 years ago, right? So
Yeah.
who knows what the technology
It's
that we
growing.
don't have access to even
Right,
today,
right, yeah,
where
yeah.
now all of a sudden there's all these crazy experiments that are out there, you know,
Right.
with humans and
Right.
robots and
Right.
all
Aliens.
these other
Yeah.
things, right? We could have a whole different segment on that.
Right.
But it's important for us to be aware of those
Right,
things.
right. And take control of your own destiny.
That's what I wanted
your own life.
to point out because I think at the end of it, people are addicted.
That-
And you have to
yeah.
call a spade a spade.
Right.
Like people are actually addicted to social media. I've seen people, the phone is in their hands and it is inseparable. Like this scrolling finger is just scrolling. And you talked about getting up and getting on social media. But when you look at an addiction, even though you may want to, you know better, but you're still gonna do that. You're just drawn to that. And for people who have like their business on social media, then you have your personal life. you're literally there all day. So you have to really take such control to where it's almost like you need therapy to get off social media. You need to put a action plan in place, like something similar to what you did. You quit cold turkey from the news. But it's so important because that's how we're shaping our decisions. We're shaping how we see so many things. And if we're not careful, we'll end up putting ourselves in situations all over financially, socially, and making decisions that we don't need to.
Yeah, we got to do better, man. We got to do better.
And I believe we will, but it's not only just social media that is constantly getting us bombarded by staying stressed or overwhelmed, because we have our bank accounts on our phone, we have other, everything is on that device that we're waking up to find out and check. That's constantly keeping us bombarded with the pressure or burning out. So, and speaking of finances, I want to go to the next statement real quick is, for many people today, burnout isn't just emotional with what we were just discussing, it's financial. People are carrying the stress of inflation, debt, rising bills, and uncertainty about the future every single day. Studies continue to show that money remains one of the leading causes of stress and anxiety for adults and families. So the next question to the panel is, do you think people today are financially irresponsible? Or are many people genuinely struggling to stay afloat in an economy where the cost of living keeps rising faster than people can get ahead? Are we irresponsible, or is it just the economy that we just can't keep up with?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Both, yeah.
It's a little bit of
both, yeah.
Because financial discipline is so important, and I'm an advocate for financial discipline. But the facts are the facts. I think a lot of people are really just trying to do the best with what they have, you know, because from school fees, thank God I don't have daycare, but daycare, everything you could think of, food, gas, right? Things are really just expensive. And if you don't have, like we were talking about grinding, for the most part, most people have a job. And then they may have a part-time job or a side hustle. There's something a little extra coming in just to make it. But if you don't have any of that and it's really just your 40 hours, then you're in a financial bind, always trying to do a payment plan, always trying to figure it out. So aside from discipline, I think some people are just really going through, you know.
I think it's also lack of education. You know, my people, we always say this, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Where do we learn about financial education? In our families. How many families are wealthy right now? Not too many, because if we look at the numbers and statistics, there's not that many wealthy families or wealthy individuals versus the rest of us, right? Like, and overwhelmingly, that divide is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so what does that mean? It means that people are not becoming wealthy all the time. Whereas you have the absolute ability to, and especially as a believer, there are some amazing biblical principles throughout the Bible as far as how to manage your wealth, build your wealth, all those great things. But are we applying it? Are we learning it? Are we doing those things? I think it has to do with knowledge and wisdom.
I think our listeners need to really pay attention to what you're saying. You know, we all agree it's a little bit of both. Sometimes we're irresponsible, and sometimes it's just the economy. But with those two things, it calls for our discipline. We have to be the ones to say, you know what? Can I afford this? Can I afford that? What do I need to do? How do I need to take care of myself? You know, we're talking about being overwhelmed, burn out. And sometimes we burn out because there's this rush and this craving to get stuff. We've all been there. I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm guilty of that.
Yes, sir.
Was guilty of it. You know, we just have to see these things. So we go and we purchase and we buy things, you know, that we couldn't afford. So we were irresponsible. But the moment you discipline yourself and say, you know what, I cannot live this way. Let me live within my means. And so when the economy, like now, we're living in a really bad time. You know, people just, I think they're so frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
They don't complain no more.
Yeah, it is what it is.
They're numb to it. You notice that?
Yeah.
You know, people, I remember the times when if gas was a 5 cents increase, people go crazy. I mean, I went to the gas station the other day with my son. I looked, $5 and some cents.
Yes, sir.
Almost $5.40. And I'm like, it dawned on me, when did gas get to $5.40? Eggs,
Don't get me started.
you know,
Eggs.
bread,
Oh,
milk,
man.
you know, the vegetable,
Yeah.
all these things, you know, it is unbelievable crazy. I walked into Publix the other day and was looking for, you know, a pack of chicken, you know, and $16.
For what?
Chicken.
Like just little. How big is it?
Is it the whole
I'm
chicken?
like, is it
Wings were still there.
No, I'm telling you, $16 for a chicken, a whole chicken.
Jeez.
You know,
I believe
and you know, you try to get a smaller price and whatever.
Yeah.
So
That's why I'm like,
you just have to discipline yourself. And
But I'm
then
hungry.
After you've done your best.
Yeah.
Now here's the part I want to get to. After you've disciplined yourself, you take ownership of you being irresponsible in the past. Life happens.
Yeah.
Because there are people right now watching. They're no longer irresponsible. They're hustling. But God, rent in South Florida
don't say it, man.
is
Don't get me started.
ridiculous.
Well, you know what you're leading into? There's a crew question.
Yeah.
So the crew question from the crew is asking, how do we get ahead, or how do you get ahead financially when inflation is constantly chasing you like a roaring lion? So as soon as you feel like you got a little bit of money, you're getting ahead, and then life happens, and then you're unexpectedly pulled back into a deficit. So how do we manage that?
Yeah, I'll tell you how to do that. Let me get my napkin here. I'll tell you how to do that. Go to Hillsborough, and Deerfield Beach,
Get you some
and
Pure
go to
Green.
Pure Green, and get you a smoothie, get you a juice, and pray, and just go to bed.
And then when you wake up,
Don't check your phone.
Don't stress yourself. Just do your part.
Right.
Because Charlotte, I'm telling you, if you start trying to figure things
Right.
out, that's going to drive you crazy.
Right.
You just have to, God, I've done my best. I'm leaving the rest to you. And I believe, here's a scripture, He shall supply
Yes, that's right.
all of my need. Don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed by what's happening. And I hate to disappoint some of you. It's going to get worse.
That's right.
yeah.
Before it gets better.
It is going to get worse. These prices are not going down. Rent ain't going down.
Right.
I'm telling you, I worry about the next generation. Can you imagine? Can you imagine now? You can hardly find a house in South Florida for $500,000.
That's
Hardly.
That's not a big house. either.
And it ain't in a good community either.
Bruh.
But the point I'm making, $500,000. Do you know how much you have to earn
Yeah.
to purchase, to be qualified
Consistently.
for a $500,000 house, right? A minimum of $150,000.
That's right.
Minimum of $150,000. These young people coming from college, who's hiring them?
Right.
When they are making robots to replace them.
And they're lacking
real.
social skills
Yeah.
too.
I mean, just think about that. So you just have to just say, look, the whole point is stop letting life stress you.
Right.
And practically too, I mean, definitely don't let it stress you, but I think no matter what scenario you're in, like there's little things that you can still try to pull from that. So in that scenario where the person is like, life just keeps happening, look at your account. Look at everything that you're bringing in every month. Where can you cut some things? Because if you look at your subscriptions, if you have all of these things that you're not needing, you can cut $10, $5 here and there. You can add that to a little savings account. Like there's something that you can cut. So I want everyone
Yeah,
to
true,
consider that.
true.
Like
That can consume you, too.
Carlene, I'm sorry. This getting hot up in here.
Because, go ahead.
Yeah, you can cut, but there sometimes ain't no more blood.
Like, I ain't got nothing else to cut.
Son, I'm telling you, there's there people out there. Put it in the chat. You know I'm telling the truth. There are sometimes when you look at your bill, you've done everything.
Right.
Some people don't have cable. They got what? Fire stick.
Right.
Ain't
Some
that the
people
truth?
got bootleg stick.
Yeah,
Bootleg
real talk.
stick. Yes.
Listen, bootleg stick. I
You
like
paying for
that.
cable, you getting cable, but you ain't paying.
They're from the open locker flea
Yeah,
market.
no, and stay off Fashion Nova and Shein. So
They got that Temu budget.
They're doing everything to outsmart the system.
Listen.
And there's nothing else to cut, Carlene. So again, those are the people I really want to give hope to
Right.
on the show today. That, you know what, you can follow our advice, you can go find a financial counselor, but sometimes life is going to hit you where your back is against the wall and there's nothing else you can do but just say, God, you got it from here.
That's right. No, I agree with you, Henry, because at the end of the day, when push comes, just sometimes God's going to put you in a position where you have no choice but to trust Him.
That's
so
good,
you can
Charlotte.
budget all you want, you can write, you can
There you
do all
go.
of those
There you
things.
go.
And if you're not careful about it, you're going to drive yourself crazy
Yes.
because you're not putting your trust in God or Jesus. You're putting your trust in your numbers. You're putting your trust in your 9 to 5 who could lay you off at any moment. So, I mean, I agree. There gets to a point, yes, we need to do our part and stand and, you know, not be ignorant of biblical principles because it's all there. Stewardship is there. But we have to also have faith because we're not going to have enough anyway.
And don't let the lack of things frustrate you and lead you into depression,
No.
right?
That's good. Yeah.
So what if you didn't get the car? Drive the old one that you were with. Maybe you have to take the bus.
Yeah.
I know it's our pride. No. Okay, so what if you can't do this? So what if you can't go to Publix, but you have to go to Dare to Care?
Yeah. Ah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's real.
It's a choice.
That's
you have to
real.
make the choice. All right?
That's
You know,
real.
so you got to make the decision. You know,
Shout
the
out
true
to our
story.
501c3.
I used to, you know, because by virtue of my job,
Right.
I'm a public figure. I'm always on the stage.
Right.
So you go in your closet and, you know, you have to try to, you know, subconsciously every week you got to wear something different.
Yeah.
And, you know, different because society.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so forth. And I don't get compensated from the church for my outfit.
Yeah.
You know, some people based on if you're a news reporter, they give you credit.
Yeah.
You know, some
Stipend for it.
spiritual leaders do that.
Yeah.
I don't take money from the church to buy different outfits and
Right.
so forth. And so I got to a point where I just said, you know what? I looked at how much money I was spending on clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, this got to stop. And I got plenty of clothes. I'm not denying that. But let me tell you something. I don't shop a lot.
Yeah.
Because, see, for me, it's a decision I've made.
Right.
If and this is now probably gonna make some of you start watching me now on Sunday. When I put on a pair of shoes or something like that, sometimes people think I got plenty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause I don't care what you think no more.
Come on.
I'm gonna dress and look good,
Yeah.
and I'll trick you by switching up.
Come on now. You're tricking us.
That's it. But I am disciplined. This is the point. I am disciplined now that I'm not going to run myself dry anymore. I'm not going to spend more than what I know I can afford. And that will give you the peace of mind that you can go to bed every night saying, you know what, I didn't have the steak, but you know what, I had the cabbage.
Not the same. Yeah. Not the same at all. I had the steak from cabbage. That is not.
I thought he was going to say chicken.
That is not a comparison. Those are two completely different spectrums. So I don't know if that works.
The crew just fell out.
Yeah, that's not quite the same. If you like cabbage, then hey, you know that's your thing. But yeah, I mean, you know, that's your thing. So yeah, okay. So emotional suppression. Yeah, we're gonna move right ahead. That's that unhealed trauma that's I'm kind of dealing with right now. Unhealed trauma. Yeah, for all you vegetarians out there, you know, if cabbage tastes like steak to you, that's great. I'm happy for you. Yeah. So I'm gonna move on to the next question, the next statement rather. So a lot of people.
Charlotte needs a commercial break.
Listen. Hey. All right. That's the next topic of conversation. So, yeah, some people dealing with trauma right now because of that statement. So, a lot of people aren't physically tired. They're emotionally overloaded.
Yes.
They're carrying anxiety, disappointments, trauma, grief, and pressure that they've never properly dealt with. That's pressure. And the dangerous part is many people have become so used to functioning while overwhelmed that burnout now feels normal. Charlotte. Question to the panel. If unhealed trauma can quietly affect every area of a person's life, why do you think so many people still struggle to face it, talk about it, or heal from it?
I'll say two things on that. So, what I think, people who've been through traumatic situations, and we can list and just think of, and for our real ones, think of the things that you may have walked through. It's to the point sometimes where your life has become so busy, as we were talking earlier about, the grind and all of that. So you're in such a routine, your life is so busy that even though you need to put some time here for healing therapy, like you're so busy, you cannot even think beyond what you're experiencing with your schedule to really get the help that you need. So I think a lot of people are just go mode, the day-to-day just continue going. And then on the other hand, I've seen this personally where some people have actually made the trauma their identity.
There you go.
And they are stuck in there. So it's like, how do I even get healed or separate myself from what I've been through? Because that's another badge of honor now.
100%.
The things I've been through, because when you hear my name, when you hear my story, it's like, oh, empathy, right? So this person can get stuck on all of those things, and it makes them feel good in a sense that I've been through this. I have, these war stories to tell. I remember in my profession, I'm always speaking with people. We build relationships. I was speaking with this lady, and she was telling me all of these things that were happening, and she also had to go on disability and all of this, and I'm like ready to pray. I'm like, let's go to the wall. Let's pray. And she was like, well, it's okay, baby. Because, she was like, I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
But she did not want to have the situation change, because then she would not be able to have some of the things that were, she was able to take advantage of. So it's almost like those scenarios became her identity, and being separated from that now would stop certain benefits or different things. So it's just like, it's okay. So I think some people get locked into trauma as their identity.
Because some people don't want to deal with it.
Right.
That's another thing. Some people don't want to deal with it. They don't want to face it. So they ignore it, not knowing is this perpetual dysfunction.
Yep, cycle
I
starts.
mean, I think the reality is a lot of people need deliverance. They don't know the deliverer, right? They need to know who Jesus is. A lot of people think they know who Jesus is, but then if you know who Jesus is, why are you still walking around with this trauma that's affecting you? Because if he said, by my stripes you are healed, you should be healed of your trauma. You should be healed of your past. You should be healed of all of those things that affect you, right? And sometimes, like things like cancer and sometimes God chooses whom he's going to do this miraculous healing to. But when it comes to holistically, we should be healed. We should not be walking around carrying that trauma. So at the end of the day, if you're walking around with undealt with issues, that means you need to take it to Jesus. And if you don't know Jesus, let me tell you about him. And if you do know him, let's reignite that relationship. And then goes back to your point, do you want to be healed or not? Jesus always asks when he's doing the healing, what do you want? I remember there's one particular scripture, and I can't, I'm losing it right now, but Fred threw me off. But when Jesus asked, what is it that you want? What do you want from me? Do you want your healing at the end of the day?
I think some people too don't even know that they have trauma.
Yeah.
Until they're in a situation where it's revealed, or they're in a relationship where it's revealed, or something happened. So they're just feeling like this is normal right now.
Yeah.
They don't know it's trauma.
Yeah.
And that I like that, because that actually easily segues into our next topic, and that's spiritual disconnection. A lot of people today are experiencing burnout because they've become disconnected from the very source of their healing, peace, and strength, which is God. People are trying to pour from empty places while disconnected from the one who actually restores them. The question, at what point does confidence in yourself become dependence on yourself? And is that one of the reasons so many people are emotionally and spiritually exhausted today?
I mean, I think it goes back to that.
Facts.
When and Henry, you alluded to that as well when it came to finances. We either trust God or we don't. He's either a healer or he's not. He said, I am.
There it is.
I am.
There you go.
Yeah.
I am the way, the truth, the life. I am everything. Cast your burdens upon me. We read it, but do we do it? Do we apply it?
Yeah. And you got to separate that God confidence, right? Godfidence, and
like that.
taking things on your own. Because now when you get your true identity, you understand, like you're saying, Charlotte, who you are in Christ. That gives you a whole new identity that you're solid in. But then everything else, you got to bring it to him, because now when you think that I'm the one who's doing this, I'm the one who is in charge, now, there's that, you're out of balance, at that point.
I guess it's that cultural thing that talks about self-reliance, dependent on our own strength. I got this. And a lot of us, especially, our society has a lot of single people now. The marriage rate is dwindled a lot. So when people are used to this pattern of, I'm doing life by myself.
Yep.
I don't need a spouse. I don't need somebody. I don't need a partner. That can easily be translated or be transferred over to how we handle God.
1,000%.
Because you got your job, you're paying your bills, and regardless if you're struggling or not, but you're doing it on your own. So that self-reliance is out there that if you're not careful, then you don't even invite God into your space anymore. You start doing things on your own, and when it fails,
Come on.
not if, because you can do all you can, but there comes a time when your back is going to go against the wall, and then when it fails, what are you going to do? That's when you get depressed.
Gotcha. And I was just going to say one more thing, is that to that point, I was like, but are you really doing it by yourself? Are you really? Because we live, move, and have our being just because of him who we're connected to in the first place. So, like, even when you think you're doing it by yourself, it's because of him that you even have the ability to even do. So let's not forget that.
Yeah, man, we are literally out of time, and I really hope that today's podcast really opened your eyes to help those of you who feel overwhelmed. I don't know what's stressing you out, but you don't have to be burnt out. You don't have to. You just got to prioritize, I should say, things in your life. So feeling constantly burnt out, overwhelmed, mentally exhausted, and emotionally drained was never God's desire for your life. And if you are feeling that way consistently, it may be a sign that something needs to be addressed, something needs to be cut off, readjusted in your life, or surrender your life back to God and allow him to give you the clarity, the peace, and a strategy that you need to overcome whatever is draining you right now, and so that you can start becoming the best version of yourself. Until next time, all of my co-hosts and I are saying to you, take care of yourself, protect your peace, and make sure that you're not allowing life to take away the sleep that you need. Get some rest. And go to Pure Green and support them. Thank you so much. See you next time.
This is good.